There's a farm just west of Nashville that's doing a lot more than just growing fruits and vegetables. You see, the Old School Farm is employing and empowering people with disabilities, while at the same time helping feed the community.
Does this give you a new appreciation when you eat arugula?
Absolutely.
The arduous task of harvesting arugula, the peppery and delicate green, is just one crop grown at Old School Farm in Nashville. They grow tomatoes, okra, cucumbers, and other seasonal veggies, along with herbs and flowers. But the seeds they're really planting are those of purpose and pride for those who work here. That's what drew Sarah Gilmore, the farm manager, to this place.
It was honestly the mission that they have, because the mission is to employ and empower adults of all abilities to work here. And I think that's amazing. Not only just the fact of growing food, I think is just something that is part of the human experience, but to do it with people of all backgrounds too. And that is what the mission is. It's more focused on the actual process of it, not just the product, which I think is very unique.
Jared McIntosh, who likes to be called J-Rod, is one of the mission farmers. He says it's a good place to work and it's made lots of friends. Josh Gibson is another Old School farm worker.
Gives you something to do. People got to eat food, so.
Do you ever eat what you harvest?
Yeah, all the time.
The nonprofit farm partners with Miller Ridge, a social services organization that helps those with disabilities realize their goals and learn skills so they can become productive members of society.
It's cool because they are vital here. They have strengths that I don't have, and so they get to feel like they should, a part of the workforce, it's like part of the human experience is waking up and working.
So the mission farmers are involved in all aspects of production, and it's not always them being taught what to do. It can be the other way around.
They've taught me how to process food. Once we harvest it this morning, they're harvesting our greens and washing them, harvesting okra and our tomatoes, raking beds, making beds, all of that.
There's a new way of farming at Old School, hydroponically, where they just use water.
We have a hydroponic greenhouse that has cucumbers in it, tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. So that's been a really new experience here, but it's been kind of cool to learn the ins and outs of hydroponics.
The Old School Farm is located on the grounds of what was Wade Elementary in Davidson County. The Old School building is utilized for meetings, the offices of Miller Ridge, and a restaurant. For Old School Farm landscaper Dale Barr, coming to work is a trip down memory lane. He went to 1st through 3rd grade here in the early 70s.
Where the dining area is in the school used to be the music room. And sometimes I felt like I could hear them singing. Where the stage is, we used to do plays at the stage. And I can remember going through the cafeteria and get my little lunch, sitting down. They had to folded out tables and benches together. A lot's changed, but the memories are still here.
There's also a pottery studio on the farm. Joanna utilizes the basement of the school for classes. And if you think pottery and farming don't have a connection, you'd be mistaken. She says the two have been tied together for centuries.
Agriculture and pottery go together. They develop at the same time, side by side. And pottery is what you serve the agriculture on. It's also, a lot of pottery was used to unfertile soil. They would burn pots and burn soil, set it on fire, and bury it in the ground to make it more nutritious and keep things growing. It also can be used as containers to store water to slowly leak out.
The pottery and produce are sold each Saturday at a pop-up farmers market at Cafe Mackay in Nashville. But the bounty of their fruits and veggies goes to not only Cafe Mackay's chef, but the other restaurants throughout Metro Nashville through an organization called Nashville Grown.
They are a really amazing nonprofit that's kind of like the middle person between farms and chefs. So we post on their website and they post it for chefs to be able to shop and buy from. So it's local food going to local places.
So from the farm to the fork, at Old School, it's all about growing not just produce, but self-esteem and people with pride and a sense of worth. Former Old School farm manager Mackenzie Wallace.
Ideally, we're a great model for people to understand what co-working really looks like and what can really happen when people just work together regardless of differences, but especially because of similarities too.